Hi, my name is Shirley Griffiths, and my husband and I came to First Grace in October of last year. I wasn't raised in a Christian home, but my aunt took me to a revival service at her church. And that evening, the preacher that was there preached about heaven and hell. And he gave a very descriptive message about hell, and that if you were not saved, that is where you were going to spend eternity. And so I knew that I definitely didn't want to go there. So at the end of that service, there was an invitation given, and I went forward and got saved and was baptized. Over the course of my life, I continued in church, and I learned a lot of things about God. But in the back of my mind, I just felt like God was mad at me and disappointed with me. And I found it really hard to trust Him in my daily life. I knew that I was supposed to trust Him, but somehow I just had a hard time doing that. I also had a lot of shoulds in my life. I knew there were a lot of things I should do, but I just had trouble being obedient to the Lord. The reason that I thought that I was struggling with being obedient to the Lord was because I grew up in a dysfunctional family, and I thought that that was the issue of why I was not able to obey the Lord. As the years passed, I started having doubts about my salvation. So we came to First Grace, and we really enjoyed the teaching and preaching at the church. And although I had heard those same messages many times before, they were given in such a clear, direct manner. I knew that God was dealing with me, that I was not in right relationship with Him. And Pastor Bruce started preaching out of James and talked about being a hearer of the word and not a doer of the word. And I knew at that point that that was me. God revealed to me that He was not that mean, angry God, but He was a loving Father who was reaching out to me and wanting me to come in relationship to Him. He wanted me to forget my past and to accept Him and trust Him in my life. In July of this year, my husband and I had the opportunity to go to summer camp. And while we were there, we were in the teaching part of the camp and also the praise and worship time. And we saw a group of young people that were worshiping and praising God and praying and loving each other like we had never seen before. God showed me through them what fully giving your life to Christ looks like. They were living out their faith and exhibiting a joy and a love for one another that I had never seen before. I knew that I wanted that joy and love in my life. So I talked to Pastor Brett and agreed with God that I was a sinner, and then I confessed my belief in Him and asked Him to be my Savior. In Ephesians, the Apostle Paul told the church that God is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that we ask or think. I have seen God do more in 2 months of my life after accepting Him than I had when I'd been trying to do it on my own for over 50 years. So today I come to be baptized as a symbol of the change that's been taking place in my life, in my heart.